All those in favor of the motion will please rise.
Mr. Harper. Mr. Fletcher. Ms. Weeks. Mr. Glover.
All those opposed to the motion will please rise.
Mr. Lucas.
Mr. Lucas.
Mr. Martin.
Mr. Martin.
Mr. Trudeau.
Monsieur Trudeau.
Mr. McCauley.
Mr. McCauley.
Mr. Goodale.
Mr. Goodale.
I declare the motion carried.
Yesterday, Canada voted on extending and expanding the war against the Islamic State. It used to be 6 CF-18 jets and support teams attacking terrorists in Iraq. Now that mission has been expanded to include Syria. Of course, Syria really doesn't have jurisdiction or sovereignty over much of its land. The Islamic State really is a state the size of the UK, with about 8 million people under its jurisdiction, will now be attacking targets in Syria. The vote broke down this way: 142 MPs in favor of it, 129 opposed, including the Green Party and I think 1 or 2 ex-conservatives. 33 MPs were absent, which I think is appalling. This is the most grave decision that Canada could make: whether or not to go to war, where the war should be, to commit our troops. For 33 MPs to simply not be there, I think, is unacceptable and shows some cowardice, or at least misplaced priorities. And finally, there was one abstention, a moral coward named Irwin Cotler. He couldn't be bothered to vote for or against. He wanted it neither way. Just retire already, Irwin. But I think more troubling than all those votes against the war, listen, there are plausible reasons to oppose a war. I'm not saying that you must support a war. There are arguments against it, but not these arguments brought by Justin Trudeau. Here, listen to him explain what he thinks the problem is. He doesn't think the problem with the Islamic State is that they cut off the heads of their victims or burn them alive or have an ethnic cleansing against Christians. He doesn't think that the problem is that they're jihadists. He thinks the problem is root causes. Listen to this.
We will make little headway in ending conflict and radicalization if we don't address the underlying causes of both. Yes, the root causes, including poor governance and lack of economic opportunity.
Really? So the problem is just poor governance and get that lack of economic opportunity. So maybe if their GDP was a little bit higher, these people would not believe in the jihad and killing Christians? Is he serious? How does that explain literally tens of thousands of jihadis coming from all over the West, UK, France, United States, Australia, and here from Canada, leaving our lap of luxury and our great economic success and our outstanding political governance to deliberately choose to go to that jihadist hellhole? Justin Trudeau misunderstands the nature of the jihad because he wants to misunderstand it. He cannot process the concept of good and evil. He thinks we can all get along together and there's really no differences between us. That isn't just wrong, it's dangerous when we're in a war against Muslim Nazis. That's really what the Islamic State are. They're Nazis. They're not German, they're Muslim. If Justin Trudeau was around in the 1930s, he would have said, oh, we don't need to fight Hitler, we just need better economic opportunity for Germans and better governance. That's a dangerous point of view to take. There's one more thing that Trudeau said yesterday that's just got me scratching my head. Here, take a listen to this.
So it's unfortunate that the Minister of Citizenship and Immigration hasn't been able to, over the past years, be very clear about how many Syrian refugees we've accepted and how many more, which is why we've been unequivocal. We need to accept 25,000 more refugees from this area. Merci.
So Justin Trudeau thinks we should take 25,000 Syrians, just plunk them down here. Why? Is that an attempt to distract from the fact that he's not willing to go and help solve the problem there? Which side of the Civil War would Justin Trudeau choose his 25,000 new Canadians from? Would he choose them from Bashar Assad's side of the Civil War, or would he choose them from the Islamic State's side of the Civil War? And why should they come here? Why don't they stay there? Why don't we try to fix the problem there? Can we solve every genocide, every civil war in the world by bringing people here? And by the way, in our current immigration and refugee status claims, we do not do a background check on people to see whether or not they are extremists, whether or not they are jihadists. It's one of the reasons why the jihad has come to Canada. Justin Trudeau does not believe in the concept of good and evil. And he actually wants to bring 25,000 people from the Syrian civil war to Canada. That's not just wrong. That's scary. For the Rebel.media, I'm Ezra Levant.